I have to say, I've been truly surprised and pleased by this tremendous feat organized by the World Health Organization, bringing together brilliant minds from all over the world to discuss disinformation, misinformation, and what we should do about it.
So I see that in infodemics, there are two levels that need to be researched: the how disinformation is spread and the why. So understanding the intentions of the actors.
We really need to understand incentives and motivations for people to engage in this particular area.
The acknowledgement and profound understanding that trust and empathy are key factors when conveying information to the public.
So, as rumors spread, a bottom up approach of how communities view these rumors and information. Are there patterns and commonalities across regions? I thought that was a very exciting field to look at.
Similar to biological inoculations that confer immunity against infectious pathogens, preemptive messages warning individuals about circulating misinformation and expose them to strategies used by those promoting misinformation can actually confer cognitive immunity.
I think the thing I was most excited about was the hopefulness of our encounters, that there's so much of a shared agenda across disciplines in our keen interest to better understand this digital ecology and how we can ensure that works in service to humanity.
I think the most telling comment that I heard during the conference came right at the very end. A moderator from one of the member states who said, "It's very lonely fighting the infodemic."
Hello, I'm Nagla Ahmed, epidemiologist with background in virology. Definitely I will use the conference experience in my work. When we act in the field, on the ground, we act on the impact of misinformation. However, early detection, real-time surveillance and monitoring will help us to intervene before dissemination of misinformation and before being a chronic problem.
And one of the most important challenge is developing effective communication in relation to COVID-19 vaccine that might be developed in the future. And that's why we need to be ready for all types of misinformation that would be related to this.
One topic that I would love to see pursued relates to the social media used by teenagers like me. Instead of Facebook or Twitter, which was mentioned a lot, my peer group uses platforms like Discord and TikTok, which have less text and more instant video and meme content. And I think that this is something that is really worth looking at.
So for example, we talked about the responsibility of the platforms, we talked about the responsibility of journalists and also politicians. And I think that moving forward, we need to enable citizens to develop critical ways of thinking, but also engaging in the online environment, because after we solve this current pandemic, we might experience other in the future.
And it's great to see how the conversation is shifting so that we're looking more at looking at behavior change and creating those norms around it not being good or not being socially acceptable to share misinformation, disinformation.
We would all have to work together and collaborate across our disciplinary backgrounds, open ourselves up for input and experiences and insights from other disciplines and from other areas, and that we stand to learn so much from each other, from where we are all dispersed around the world with our own experiences of dealing with misinformation and for dealing with this pandemic.